Hey everyone, it's Ghosty, and today I figured I would take advantage of my Halloween backdrop still being up and make a couple of videos. So today we have the Gemmy dancing monster, and this is one of my favorite props. I think it probably is my favorite life-size Gemmy animatronic of all time, and possibly even just my excuse me, possibly even just my favorite life-size animatronic of all time. I think the only thing competing for that would maybe be, I don't know, maybe Count Vigor. Count Vigor's up there for me, but this one probably is my favorite. Um, this was the very first Gemmy life size I had in my life. Um, I think the reason that I like life size props today is probably just because of this thing. Um, but yeah, okay. So, like I said, this is the Gemmy Dancing Monster. He is from 2004 and was only produced in that year, and was sold at Walmart and was only sold at Walmart. Um, so yeah, very exclusive figure. 1 year, one store. He was sold alongside the dancing skeletons that year, the tuxedo ones. There's two variants with the tuxedo ones. So yeah, in 2004, they wanted to kind of go off the Dancing Santa from 2002, so they decided to make some Halloween variants. But yeah, so they just had those three that year: the two tuxedo variants and the Dancing Monster. Obviously, the Dancing Skeletons are a lot more popular and just a lot more common. You see those things a lot more. They made a lot more of them. Those things were sold everywhere, and then they got a lot more variants. I always wished that this kind of received the dancing skeleton treatment and that we got more variants based off this. But what can you do? So yeah, a little more information on this thing. There's quite a few different variants. Technically, he is. It's not branded as this, but he is technically a Freaky Geek and the only life-size animated Freaky Geek. Um, and if you're not familiar with the Freaky Geeks, they're a series of tabletop props that Gemmy produced in 2004 and in 2005. Um, I want to say maybe there's five or six different ones. There's a witch, a skeleton, and then the monster that you see in front of you. I think the witch just has one variant, and then the skeleton has two, and Dancing Monster, he definitely has two Freaky Geek variants. But yeah, they're just little tabletop props. But it's very similar. The monster, or Frankenstein, whatever you want to call it, Freaky Geek, is very similar to this. His clothes are completely different, but his head is very, 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 very similar. Um, but yeah, those were just made in 2004, 2005, and they were sold alongside the the life-size dancing monster. And the other variant is the hanging versions of the Freaky Geeks, and I'm pretty sure, or actually I know for a fact, those were also sold in 2004. So the Freaky Geeks kind of came out in a big way in 2004. Um, it kind of sucks, I don't know if it was ever something that was in development or something they considered, but I would have loved to see life-size animatronics of the other two Freaky Geeks, especially the witch. The witch is probably my favorite witch design ever. I think she's awesome. But yeah, not too much to go over with this thing that I haven't already said. Um, we'll demo him and we'll get up close in a sec. One thing I do want to make note of right now because I may forget in a moment. Um, but as you can see, his mouth is wide open right now, and that's something um, very different than the other dancing Gemmy animatronics. Especially if you compare him to the skeletons, the mouth and eyes work opposite to the skeletons. So with the skeletons, when they're off, their mouths are closed, and when they open their mouths, their eyes light up. With Frankenstein or with Dancing Monster, it's the exact opposite. When he's switched off, his mouth is open, and when he sings, obviously his mouth shuts. and when his mouth shuts, his eyes turn on, which is pretty different. I'm trying to think. I think that's all the information and trivia I can think of right now. So I'll get him plugged in and I will demo him for you. Oh, and that's right. One more thing I want to mention real quick too. So another similarity that he has with the Tuxedo Skeletons, and this is a similarity that he shares only with the Tuxedo Skeletons. Zoot Suit, the Pirate, none of the other dancing skeletons have this feature, but before he goes into his song and dance routine, he says like a phrase or he laughs or something. Like he'll say Happy Halloween or he does like a weird laugh. It's really cool, and it's something that I wish every single dancing prop had. I think it just gives it a lot more character. It's something about it just really works for me. I just really enjoy it. But yeah, so yeah, no, let me get him plugged in real quick.
Did I scare you? In the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes, and I was shaking from head to toe. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. It was a monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included the Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. It was a monster mash. Happy Halloween. It's on the run. Head up for the highway. For adventure. And whatever comes our way. Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. Take the world in another
Okay, so those are his 4 songs that he does, and something I didn't make note of before I demoed him is that they actually made an attempt to use music that is Halloween themed, which I really, 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 really don't understand why the dancing skeletons, don't use the same songs. All all of the different Dancing Skeleton variants use the same like audio. It's the same 4 songs in every one of those. I think some of those are it's like played in a different order or something, but they're the same more or less. I don't get why they wouldn't just make them the same with him, or at least reuse Thriller and Monster Mash. You would think that would be a no-brainer, but I guess not. The audio that all the skeletons do is just very weird. It doesn't really fit at all, and some of the songs are kind of annoying. But yeah, it's something I think it's just something that makes me like him and appreciate Dancing Monster even more than I already do. But yeah, as far as demoing goes, that'll do it. Something I want to say I kind of started talking about earlier, but I kind of got sidetracked. Started talking about something else. Was I did mention this was the first dancing, or not first dancing, the first life-size animatronic that I owned. My grandma, when I was a kid, got the dancing monster made by Pan Asian. So that was the first one I was like around, and like had seen and all that. But this was the first one that my parents had bought, so this one was really special because it really felt like mine. I still remember my dad bringing it home. My dad got it the day after Halloween, like 50% off, so it was like super cheap. And I can literally remember waking up the next morning and like the morning after Halloween and seeing it in the box in our living room and just being like super excited for the next Halloween just to have him out there. But yeah, this thing is a big reason, a huge reason as to why I really, really enjoy Halloween and enjoy Halloween animatronics so much. I finally, now that I've made this video, I've checked all the boxes on the 3 props that I hold responsible for my like animatronic obsession today. Funny enough, all 3 of them are Frankenstein props, but yeah. So I guess I can take you up close to him real quick, and just I don't know, I'll just give you a little mechanical history on him. This model in particular, I've had him like I just said since 2004, and I've ran him like crazy and was pretty rough with him as a kid even. But in all those years, the only problem he ever had was one of the gears in his neck mechanism had like a tooth that broke off from it. But that was it, and that just happened like this year, like literally this year. That he's been perfect with no problem since then. It's just a very, very well made Halloween prop. It's crazy stuff like this just used to be available on the commercial market. You don't. I think I say this in quite a lot of my videos, but you really just don't see this kind of stuff today, and especially in the like stylistically speaking, he's so like just cartoony and like goofy, and that's not something that's kind of around anymore. I mean, at Target Halloween this year, I'm making this video in 2025. Target Halloween this year was kind of a step in the right direction, but at the same time, the props themselves are very cheaply made and just not built to last. So that's something that's very special about that era to me, is the props were just so well made. They were built to last, and just the aesthetic they were going for, and the overall quality is just absolutely insane on these things. But yeah, I want to get up close with him real quick before I let you go, and just show you his clothing. I think, or this definitely is my favorite clothing on any life-size prop ever, let alone just Gemmy. They really, really outdone themselves on this one. It's just, when I think of Frankenstein, this is kind of the design I think of in my head. It's such a fun design. He's just got so much character just within the clothing and the head sculpt, and even the shoes on the base I really like. These big metal block shoes. But yeah, let me bring the camera up close. So here is the head. So you can see the paint, everything. He is in great shape. Yeah, I've only ever owned 2 Gemmy props, like straight out of the box, brand new, like original owner, the year it came out. This one being one, obviously, and the second one being the Treater Greeter, which from Michaels. And like I said, they've had minimal problems. You know, I don't get how people thrash these things so badly. I really think it comes down to how you're storing them. But yeah, he's this really, like, I don't really know how to describe the material even, but it's just very, like, high quality, and the shirt's great. I love the coloring. And then he's got these really awesome, like, belt buckles, and they actually even, like, slide up and down. You can, like, reposition them, which is just so damn cool. He's got them on his chest, too. These ones don't slide. Maybe that one's not even supposed to, honestly. And then he's got more over here on, like, his cuff. And I like, too, that it's, like mismatched. Like, there's 3 here, there's 1 over here. It's just really cool. And then he has these cool, like, padding up here. And then he has the same kind of padding, like, in here. And it's actually even, like, I don't know if you can tell, that it's, like, stuffed with, like, stuffing in here. Like, on the knee pad. And then he's got another cuff down here, and then here are those really awesome shoes. And then, yeah, he's got the typical Gemmy dancing bass, and wow, after seeing this under the light, do I need to clean him? And then, yeah, the top of his head is very, like, flat. Like, you could literally set something down on there. It's so flat, which is cool. And I'll show you the back side, just cause not much going on back here, but he velcros from the back, so he is very easy to work on. Some of the dancing skeletons are kind of hard to take apart just because of their clothing, you know, and having the rib cage, like, stapled up. But no, he's very easy to work on. And then another thing is his hands. He has this kind of cool, somewhat purplish paint on his fingernails. He's just a great prop. He really is. But yeah, okay. To finish this out, I think maybe I'll demo him one time up close. You know, yeah, I will do that. I will.
Did I scare you? The moonlight, see it, and almost touch your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes the time before you make it. 'Cause this is real life, night. I know what's going on, baby. From the beat, the fuck, right? You know it's real life, night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer, thriller tonight. 'Cause this is real life, night. To kill you more than any gold would ever dare try. Oh, let me hold you tight and shout, killer, thriller. I'm gonna do you tonight.
Okay, so that'll do it on my dancing monster video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Peace out.